Whose floors these are, I think I know. His house is in the US though. He will not see me stopping here to watch me crash on my rear. My boss must think it queer to stop without a laptop near. Between the beta and the frozen release, the darkest time of the year. He gives his hairy head a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound is the dread of crashed apps and lousy interface. The DOMs are lovely, dark and deep, but I have deadlines to keep and miles to code before I sleep, and miles to code before I sleep.
In the last episode, inspired by Henry Ford's assembly line, I had brought in my own assembly line of apps, a model in which we think about how to create an app, we create the app and then we redesign it. The limitations that I faced in my philosophy model were related to all the three aspects. The first was why. A developer does not always look at apps as a resource allocation thing. For example, chat apps. It's about bouncing ideas back and forth in a team or in an organization. That's what chat apps do. But consumer-facing apps solve a real complex scenario or business problem. So it's not always about a specific resource allocation problem. The next step is to process who we are building for the app. So when I started out, I thought the apps were built for just one stakeholder. Most apps do not deal with just one actor. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of agents. There are also third-party apps which can be taken as actors in the system, even if they are not real people. So in the development world, the who cannot be easily defined. The how of an app. Most product managers or developers do not simply connect, collect or optimize data. They do various models of SWOT analysis, competitor research, where they try to find where can their app produce value. Where is the competitor advantage that they can have over other existing apps in the market. So there were essential limitations in this why, who, how philosophy of the app, and that is what I realized when building 30 apps in one go in 1 week. Itna to ho gaya. So as I made foray into this development world with low coding, I realized that there are different methodologies, there are different perspectives to building apps. There's a very huge chance that I will fall while shooting. I had finally finished all my 30 apps and I almost feel like a full stack developer who could build her own business apps which were running and were functional. All I had to do now was bring in all these learnings in the form of a video format. I sat at home and I perfected the video script that I would use to shoot all the 30 apps. It started out by introducing my channel, what I was trying to do, how I was going to teach them how to build an app. I took a 5-step model again, and in the last week of my project, all I had to do was just shoot, shoot and shoot. Sometimes during the shoot there were some glitches in the app because of some coding error that I did, but because of low coding I could immediately go back to edit the application and then the apps actually stood the test of time. The final result was that I ended up making 30 videos of 30 apps that I built on Zoho Creator in 30 days. Series khatam ho raha hai. So sometime back there was a movie called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, where Benjamin Button grows younger over time instead of aging like other people. In this 1-month project, I realized that a citizen developer's life is also like Benjamin Button. So you could call it the curious case of the citizen developer. When you start out, you feel like an old person with codes that you don't understand, with apps that you cannot build. But over time, you become younger, you feel more energetic, your apps become more functional, they become more robust, you get more ideas of how to strategize making your app better, and you just get better with time. The learning curve is so much easier with low code. I have come a long way and I find real meaning in my life now because I overcame my fear of coding, and now I feel I'm not an accomplished developer, but I can develop apps that solve real business problems. To see this entire journey, subscribe to App DNA and check it out from the first episode. There are 8 episodes, and I think it will be really meaningful and will add to your perspective of what goes on while you build apps. Ruko, if I can build 30 apps in 30 days with low code, then imagine how you, with a little bit of perseverance and courage, can go on to build real apps for your real business. If you have been watching all the App DNA episodes, then I'm really thankful to you. We are as religious about building code as you are about building apps. If you think your friends and other developers will benefit from watching this series or the videos on App DNA, then share these videos to them. These apps and these videos would not be possible without my low-code platform Zoho Creator. So I would urge that you go to Zoho Creator and see how low-code apps are built. There are tons of resources and tutorials to help you around. For any questions that you have on low-code and how to build apps with low-code, comment below. Till then, keep making apps and be happy. And I wish you all the best in your app journey.